Yo fam, it's me, Sasha Denbright, and welcome to episode 9 of You Call That Targeting? My gosh, I already lost my voice in the first 10 seconds of this, but man, I'm so excited. And I just can't thank you guys enough for joining me every week on this podcast. You don't know how much fun I have making these podcasts. And knowing that I have 16 subscribers that like listening to my podcast, it makes me so happy. So thank you for tuning in. We're going to start out with recapping a few games that I picked last week, and we're going to jump right into it. I picked Texas A&M to beat Auburn, and I like how they've been. They're great at home. I mean, it's hard to beat Texas A&M at Texas A&M. I mean, ask Alabama, right? And I knew Auburn's streaky. I mean, they're good one week. They look unbeatable one week, and then the next they're trash. And they happen to look like absolute trash against Texas A&M. And so Texas A&M won that game 20-3. And then I told you guys I picked the upset, and I told you Purdue was going to beat Michigan State, and they did, 40-29. So yeah, I mean, I did awesome on my two picks. Because I know college football. I'm Sasha Denbright, and I just know everything. So, I mean, take my word to the bank. As long as it ain't Brent Sewell saying it, I mean, you can believe it. So, we're going to move on and give away my favorite award. Well, no, it's not my favorite. But it's one of my awards that I give away, and it is the Team of the... Trash. I thought I had a fart, but it went away. It's the Team of the Week. Alright, my team of the week. I'm going to give it to Texas A&M. My gosh. I gave it to them when they beat Bama, which was huge. But really, they were like, I think, the best looking team this week. I mean, they played in my game of the week. They played a tough ranked opponent, and they handled their absolute business. And so, congratulations, Texas A&M. You're my team of the week. And I just ate quesadillas. And that's probably going to happen a few times in this episode. Let's move on to trash teams. I love talking trash about teams. And this first team, I love talking trash about because they give me a lot of material. My first trash team, the Florida Gators. My gosh! Absolute terrible. They were like 22, 23-point favorites against South Carolina. And got bent over. My gosh. The defense was just, I mean, they weren't even there. I don't think the defense got off the bus, right? Absolute trash. They were so trash that the next day the defense coordinator finally gets fired. My gosh. But hop on, I mean, if you're going to fire the defense coordinator and the offensive line coach, go ahead and just fire Dan Mullen. Get him out. Have you not seen he's trash and he makes excuses? Here comes a fart. He makes excuses, and I'm sick of it. Man, he's just trash. All he wants to say is like, yeah, we'll look at the film and we'll make adjustments. And what a piece of trash. Get him out! Next trash team, Minnesota. They were ranked like 20th. They've been kind of up and down. But you're ranked 20th and you lose to Illinois. And you didn't even lose like a shootout game. You lost 14-6. You're telling me you can only score 6 points against Illinois? Trash. Next trash team, Wake Forest. Here, we had a question just this last week. Will Wake Forest win the ACC? And then they can't even beat North Carolina. What trash! 58-55, and that's not a basketball score. Absolute trash. Where's the defense? But now it's time for my absolute trash team. My absolute trash team this week goes to the Michigan State Spartans. What garbage! You're ranked 3rd in the nation, and you're only a 3-point favorite against Purdue, and then they beat you 40-29. My gosh. I mean, what trash. We're going to get into that a little later, because Michigan's ranked above Michigan State. We'll get into that in just a second. Well, not a second, like more towards the end of the podcast. I think we got a question about it. But anyways, that is the first part of this podcast. I hope you enjoyed. Instead of having a sponsor, this podcast, we are bringing in a new segment called Tiger Talk. And for those that don't know, I have been coaching a 6th grade basketball team. And we are going to get in and breaking down games. And we're going to have post-game interviews, some halftime speeches for you. And my buddy Terry Fago and my good friend DeHondro Jenkins are going to break that down in a segment we like to call Tiger Talk. So let's go.
Hello, basketball fans. My name is Terry Fago, and I'm here with DeHondro Jenkins, and we are going to talk about the first game of the Rahama Tigers. For those that don't know, I mean, Sasha Denbrock has taken this team, and he has just kind of taken them under his wing, and he's like, I'm here to coach winners. And so he got this job in the offseason. They got kind of a late start. This is 6th grade basketball, by the way, and he takes a lot of pride in coaching Rahama. And we're going to get into talking about their first game that was this past Saturday. So, DeHondro, what did you see in this first game?
Oh, man. This first game was tough sledding. Let me tell you, Sasha Denbrock has his hands full with this program. I mean, they looked abysmal. It was terrible. Everything that every skill that's required from a basketball player, none of these kids have it. I mean, if you're talking passing, dribbling, shooting, just knowledge of the game, these guys do not have it. And Sasha Denbrock really has his work cut out for him.
He really does. This is going to be a tough test here. This team was down 18-0 at the end of the first, and it was 28-2 at halftime. And we caught up with Sasha Denbrock in the locker room, and this is how it sounded at the half.
What kind of garbage was that? 28-2. Do y'all even know what basketball is? My gosh. I mean, where's the defense? There's four Crossfield players standing under their basket just taking turns shooting. Where's the defense? I didn't see any rebounding. And get your hands up! When I say get your hands up, I mean get your dad blame hands up! Come on, let's play some defense! My gosh, just go out there and show a little pride. You got your parents out there thinking you're garbage. Now get out there and make me proud!
And apparently that halftime speech didn't help because the final score ended up being 40-6, with 4 points, or 4 of the 6 points being scored in the last 20 seconds. On an iffy call, it could have been called for traveling. So we caught up with Sasha Denbrock at the end of the game, and this is how the post-game interview went. Sasha, tell me what your team needs to work on for next week.
Did you watch the game? My gosh, they need to work on everything. It is nothing but trash out here.
Can you tell us about Logan? He made the last 4 points of the game. Are you seeing kind of a spark and using him more?
I mean, he's got probably the most athleticism on the team. He's the fastest player. But my gosh. I mean, he scored 4 points. And that's our star player? You want to sit here and talk about a star player that scored 4 points? And I'm pretty sure he traveled on the last shot, and they just counted the basket anyways because they felt sorry for us. So, I don't have a lot of faith in him being my star player. I don't have faith in really any of these kids being a star in anything.
Can you tell me about the technical foul that Ethan had? Kind of what happened there? It looked pretty rough, and just kind of tell us, maybe the mentality behind that.
Well, he's our most aggressive kid, and at the end of the first quarter, we're getting the brakes beat off of us, and I go to him. He only had one foul, and I told him, "So look, be more aggressive." And the next chance he got, he tried to push the kid through a wall. And he tried to break the kid in half. And I told him to be more aggressive. He's just doing what his coach told him to do. But, you can't do that in basketball. And they called a technical foul. Somehow they called a technical foul and a personal foul. So Crossfield ended up getting 4 free throws, which is absolute trash. But, whatever. I mean, it's not like it made a difference in the game when you lose 40-6. Little calls like that really don't matter.
Can you tell us what happened in the second quarter when Logan decided to chest bump Dawson after making a shot, and y'all were down 24-2, and they were chest bumping and celebrating in the middle of a play? Can you comment on that?
I mean, at that point, you're down 24-0. Go ahead and celebrate if you score. I mean, my gosh. Trash. I mean, I had to tell him to settle down. I mean, we didn't win the Super Bowl. We scored a dang bucket. All right? And the other team scored 12 buckets. And we had 1. And so I try to get him to settle down. But, it was Logan's first basketball game ever. And he was pretty pumped for Dawson making the shot, even though Dawson's been there and done that. But Dawson, he thought he won the Super Bowl too, and he's been there. He's played before. So, it was a pretty embarrassing moment, but I don't know. I heard a lot of people say that was good coaching on my part to let them have fun, but I didn't plan that. I was actually pretty peed off about it.
Can you tell us what this next week's practice is going to be like, and how you prepare for Geraldine in a doubleheader at home?
Yeah, practices are going to absolutely suck for these kids. I'm going to get on them hard. We got to work on rebounding. We got to work on passing, full court pressure defense, how to handle it on offense, how to handle it on defense. All I see is nothing but when I look out there and see those 5 kids on the court, I see 5 pieces of trash. That's it. And then I look at the bench, and if it's 5 to 7 kids on the bench, nothing but trash. That's all I'm saying. From one side of the court to the other side of the court, trash. And we got a lot of work to do. And I try to just take a little pride in what I do, but this was garbage. And we got a doubleheader against Geraldine. And we play their A team and their B team. And I just hope to absolute mess that their B team is just suck balls. Because we need to win a game. We need some confidence. But I look for us to get better this week. We didn't have a lot of practices going into this season. We only had like 4 good practices. We only ran like 2 scrimmages. A lot of these kids don't even know what basketball is. So I kind of expected that to happen first game. I expected this. I expected, I predicted, somebody asked me, I predicted 38-6 before the game, and it ended up being 40-6. So it wasn't a shocker, but we got to get better.
Thanks, Coach, for your time. Appreciate it. So that's how the post-game interview went. DeJandro, what are you expecting in this doubleheader coming up this Saturday from the Rahama Tigers?
I think we're going to see a lot more hustle out of these kids. I think Sasha is going to lay down the law. This week in practice, I think these kids are going to come, ready to play. Are they going to be able to play at a level that they're going to go and get a victory? I don't know, but I think we will see improvements. And like he said, I'm hoping that this the B team for Geraldine is not going to be quite up to the standard of the A team, and maybe Rahama can sneak out with a win at home.
Great stuff, DeJandro, and we'll be back next week to give you an update on those 2 games. This has been Tiger Talk, and let's get back to, you call that targeting.
Yes, thank you for that little segment. Yeah, the first game didn't go as planned, but we'll get better. We're going to work hard in this practice, or these couple practices this week, we just got to learn to do everything better. But other than that, we should be fine. So we're going to get on to the questions. This is my favorite part. First question is from Jim Beasley. Would Deion Sanders actually be a good fit at TCU? I think he would. I think he'd bring in publicity. He's prime time, baby. I like it. I kind of hope. I hadn't really looked into if that's a real rumor or not. But sure, I hope that happens. I think it'd be great for TCU. Next question. Heavenly Prudence Dewdrops. Is your chest hairy? I think that's sexy in a man. Hashtag move over Tig's mom. Well, I can tell you this. Tig's mom is not going to like that. She hates when the girls flirt with me. I think it's my bowl cut. I think my bowl cut is what really turns those women on. And she does not like that. But to answer your question, yes, my chest is hairy. But it's all Tig's mom. So you're going to have to just move on. Next question. Some guy that wants to punch Brent Sewell in the face. Trust me, I know how you feel. My gosh. He asked, I know what you did, or I guess this ain't a question, I don't know. I know what you did, Brent. Next time you slam my grandma's mail package on her carport, I'm gonna slam you. UPS, question mark? Yeah, it stands for Untalented Pieces of Schnickels. Get paid $75 an hour just to do crap job and get 10 legs. Sign me up. Psh. I agree with you, dude. I think Brent Sewell's nothing but pure trash. And those 10 legs, that's like just his left leg, which is odd. I mean, get a 10 on both legs, bro. And yeah, he probably does slam packages. Probably because he's mad that he don't know any facts about football. And so, yeah, he probably takes his anger out on your grandma's packages. So, you know what? Psh, I'd like to smack him in the package. Next question. Tig Nation. Psh, my trash stepson. Could the LSU team from a couple of years ago when Joe Burrow, played beat this year's Georgia Bulldogs? Also, go be somebody else's stepdad. I hate your guts. Well, to answer your question, yes, the team with Joe Burrow could beat this Georgia team. No doubt about it. I'm so funny. My gosh. But no doubt about it. They could beat them because offense here lately in college football, if you got a good offense, you can beat a good defense. So, yeah. And I don't want to be anybody else's stepdad. I enjoy being yours. I enjoy going out and throwing the ball in the yard. And, you know what? We had the campfire the other night. You know, it's just roasted marshmallows and everything. It's just special. And I just hope one day that you love me like I love you, son. I need a drink of water. Okay. Get it together, Sasha. Anonymous. You have 3 weeks to get me my money. Crap, is it already November 10th? Yeah, he's right. I will get you your money. Venmo, money order, whatever. I got the money. Just let me know how you want it. I'm sorry about that. Next question. Susie Tits McGorgensen says, let's go Brandon and go Braves. Yes. Let's go Brandon and let's go Braves. It's still crazy to think of the Braves being World Series champs. I love it. And I already miss baseball. I already miss watching the Braves. But man, it's just awesome. We're world champs. So thank you, Susie Tits. Brent Sewell. Sasha, can you tell me how in the absolute heck is Michigan ranked above Michigan State after this absolute trash week of college football? Is Georgia the only legit team? And Sasha, I didn't tell you a lie last week, you piece of trash. Just facts. Don't ever blame me for your absolute pure trash picks. Your face looks like a butt cheek. Psh. Well, you know what, Brent? You did lie to me. You gave me wrong facts because last time I checked, Georgia beat Florida and you said that wouldn't happen. So you're absolute trash for that. And do I think, yeah, I think Georgia is the only legit team. I think you might as well hand them the national championship right now. And I think Michigan is ranked higher than Michigan State because their loss was against Michigan State, which I think if Michigan and Michigan State play 10 times, I think Michigan wins 9 out of the 10. And Michigan State lost to Purdue, which sucks. So I do think Michigan has the better loss out of the two teams, and that's why they're ranked higher. That's my absolute opinion. Next question. Sasquatch has a statement. Due to the amount of disbelief that people like yourself have in me, I am now having to see a counselor to help deal with all the pain and confusion I now have in myself. I feel like no one can love me. Also, my foot is bigger than your silly podcast. Hashtag Sasquatch has left the building. First of all, nothing's bigger than my podcast. I promise you that. You will never be as big as Sasha Denbright, so just get over it. And I'm sorry that you have to go to counseling. I really hate that. I didn't mean to really push your buttons, but just you're not real. I mean, I've never seen a Sasquatch ever. Now my Aunt Betty, pretty close to a Sasquatch, because her feet are about size 14 men's, and she's got some dang hairy toes. And when I was a kid, I thought she was Bigfoot. But then, it turns out she's just an ugly human. But Sasquatches are not real, so I hate to say it. But anyways, this podcast is going a little long. We're going to get into my next week prediction, the game of the week, and then I'm going to pick my upset pick. Alright, so my game of the week, I was kind of torn between Oklahoma and Baylor, and then Texas A&M and Ole Miss. But I'm an SEC guy. I like watching SEC, so I'm going to pick Texas A&M and Ole Miss again. It's at Ole Miss. And I don't know, they kind of been hurt and not healthy. I'm going to pick Texas A&M to win this one on the road. And I think I like what I've seen from Texas A&M. And then my upset pick, I got, which sounds weird to pick this as an upset pick, but I got Penn State beating Michigan. And so Michigan State will probably be ranked higher than Michigan next week because I think Penn State is going to beat Michigan. They got them at home. Happy Valley, I like their chances to beat Michigan. Thank you for listening to my podcast. I appreciate it. Check in with me next week. We'll see how this all turns out, and I'll keep you updated on my basketball games.